Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Eclipse podcasts. You're joining me, Stuart Kelly, today to just talk a little bit more about wellbeing. And you might have seen quite a few of our wellbeing series on our website at eclipseperformance.uk. But I wanted to probably get into a bit of specifics today of looking at what it means to stay connected and understanding how connection, especially during these times of COVID-19, is more important than ever. Now, I was actually on a call with my family the other evening, and I've got quite a large family, so there's 30 of us on a virtual call, and I think it was the first time since Christmas 2002 that all of us had managed to be in the same room, so to speak, together. And it was fantastic. It was absolute mayhem like it is at Christmas. But it was brilliant just catching up with people, hearing people's stories, having a good laugh. And then, it slowly did unfold actually throughout the time that, some people were actually, getting on quite well. They had quite structured days. They knew what they were doing. They were catching up with friends regularly on their, WhatsApp, Skype, etc. And others were really struggling with it. A lot of people have kind of maybe lost their jobs at the moment. A lot of them had lost a bit of their sense of purpose of what they do every day. And I know it's only been a short amount of time, but it can impact people quite quickly when you're cut off from others. And so it made me sort of think about what is this connection that we have with people that's important, and why specifically so important for our own well-being, that sense of connection that we have to others. And I think it draws a line to me of thinking about what we are like as humans. Now, naturally, we are social creatures. We think about how we are with others more than anything else. We also focus on what others bring to us and what we bring to people. And in the world of sport currently, it can be quite easy to feel like you are connected in some ways. You've got all the technology available, but what I maybe want to talk about more specifically is the kind of conversations that make us and help us feel connected to others. Now, I noticed when I was having this call with my family, the best conversations were the ones where we just sat and listened to those who were getting on well and what they were going through, why they were getting on well, what kind of things were they doing, what positive things were they thinking. Whereas maybe those that were struggling a little bit more had a bit of a different frame of reference, and what they wanted was just somebody to listen. And it was as simple as that, of reaching out to somebody and providing them a safe space where they can share how they're getting on at that point in time. And it's not to be a counsellor, it's not to be a psychologist, it's just to be another human being listening to somebody and not interjecting, and not waiting for that gap in the conversation to put something in to just fill the space with your own thoughts and knowledge maybe, but providing them the space to understand what's going on for them. What we want you to do is kind of map out what their world is and really listen to what they're saying. And yes, ask questions to try and get a bit more information and understanding, but don't do it for your sake, do it for their sake. Because a lot of what we have at the moment is there's maybe a bit of a lack of listening going on in the world, where we're taking information and reading it how we want to in some aspects. And others, well, they are listening and they're doing the right thing, but frustrated because others aren't. So what I'm trying to make a point of here is, by staying connected, it's sharing with others that you have quality relationships with, whether that's your loved ones, or specifically thinking about what it's like for you in your kind of work life. So within sport, your teammates, your coaches, the support staff behind the scenes, think about the people you could reach out to and get connected with. Don't be the person who waits for it. Make it happen, arrange that call. And when you do, make sure it's face-to-face in some kind of way. Make sure that you can read body language, you can see people's faces, because as human beings, we react a lot better and more positively if we can see it and read somebody. And that's why smiles are contagious. because quite literally they make us feel better. We get that rush of endorphins when we see somebody else smile, and it makes us want to smile too. So use that kind of a platform. I'd also just make it a kind of conversation of just checking in with people. I'm not trying to say go in hard and share everything that's going on, but just asking the question, are you okay? And then asking it again. Because normally what we do as humans, we reply with, everything's fine, I'm okay. Ask that again. Are you though? And it gives them permission to actually have a conversation with themselves and a conversation with you about what's actually going on. Because in my opinion, we're all sort of in the same boat. We're all feeling that horrible uncertainty, that there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of things that we could normally control that we can no longer control. And what this does to us psychologically is it puts us under more stress. We feel a lot more anxious. And it's very hard for us to feel supported when we can't physically see people and talk to people. So that's why these conversations of being connected, of really sharing what's going on in other people's world and your world is just as important than that hug, that handshake, that check-in that you would have maybe at the training ground. So what I do encourage you to do is reach out for those conversations, to make them happen yourself, because don't wait around, because somebody else might be in need of it more than you think, and you might be in need of it. And the huge benefits of us sharing and supporting others is huge. So what it does is almost has the reverse effect of what isolation and lack of connection does to us. We lower our own stress levels by just sharing, and it doesn't have to be a huge amount, but just sharing what's going on in the world. It lowers our cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone that we have. We also feel a lot more supported, which in turn makes us feel happier, more secure, more safe. And also by sharing, there's a stronger sense of belonging and a sense of togetherness, that you are not alone in this, that you have other people to surround you with to help you through this. And that's what teams should feel like. We should feel as a team and as people, there's a bigger sense of belonging than just yourself. And that's what this opportunity is there for. This is an opportunity around the world for people to really connect with each other and listen to what people's worlds and what things are going on for them. And I'd like to, noted that there was a fantastic article in BBC Sport just highlighting what's going on for Mikel Arteta currently. He unfortunately had COVID-19, he's fully recovered, but he quoted him saying that this is an opportunity that he's realised to be emotionally more open, and that we need to be emotionally more open with ourselves during this time and in the future. He highlighted, yes, we have the fantastic ability to use social media, WhatsApp, etc. to communicate, but are we really actually using that as a vehicle to share? Or is it just sort of light-hearted banter? We're kind of just floating over, a few cliches, how we're getting on. We're not actually getting to the point where we're understanding what's going on for people in this situation, or what's going on for them actually outside of work or outside of sport, or what's going on inside their head during sport. And when we have that sense of connectivity that builds within a group of people, you're only going to thrive. And it's only going to help with performance and overall well-being. So I want to use a simple phrase that we use at Eclipse to help people understand what kind of way could I help connect with people? How could I do this? And here's a way of sort of looking at it. We call it notice, decide, ask. So notice maybe what's missing for you personally first. Think about, am I actually connected with those I have quality relationships with, within my team, with family, with friends at this point in time? And if you notice something just isn't feeling right, if that's something in your gut, something in your heart, something in your head not telling you there, decide to take the action. Go arrange that call, arrange that Skype meeting, arrange that Zoom meeting. Reach out to that person, just on a simple text to get it started, to reach out and make that decisive thing. And then once you're in that zone, ask the questions that people probably are needing to have. And ask yourself as well, what is it actually I'm needing right now? So use that framework. Notice, decide, ask. And it will benefit you in the long run. So I just want to wrap up with, finishing on what I was talking about before of my family. There's 30 of them. I've never seen my granddad cry in my life. But him speaking and openly talking about what was going on for him made him cry. Because the fact he couldn't hug anyone, he couldn't tell people he loved them face to face, it got to him and it's affected him. And by him being able to share, that release of emotion was powerful, not just for me, but for everybody on that call. And it gave us a space to all be open with each other. And that's what I want you to do, think about in the future, is how can I stay connected? So just to wrap up, I just wanted to say that we have a lot of material at Eclipse, a lot of resources to help people through these times. So please do not hesitate to get in contact with us and see how we could possibly partner with you, could help you out, even if it's just some advice about what you're going through, somebody to talk to. It would be fantastic to hear some stories of what's going on for people, and using it as a platform if people want to share with us what's going on for them. That would be fantastic to hear. We'll be doing more of these kind of series, just sort of looking at probably a bit about how can you structure your days, talking about self-talk, thinking about looking at the thoughts that we're having currently and how can we possibly reframe them for each other, and maybe just thinking about the habits that we're forming, because we're in a new environment, a new daily structure. What kind of habits are we forming? So look forward to them in the future. And I will be talking a bit more about them individually, but there'll be articles, there'll be videos, as much resources as possible just to help you out as much as possible. But that's me signing off for another time. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye now.